Hi everyone. Hello. Um, it's nice to see everyone here. Welcome to the kickoff event for the grand finale of the 2020 edition of the ARVR Africa Hackathon. It's been, oh my God, it's been quite an experience. I think we can all agree that it's been quite an experience over the last couple of months. But finally, we are on the last stretch, the home stretch, as they would call it. So I'm going to just give a quick presentation with a couple of details of what the next 2 weeks is going to be looking like for the grand finale of this hackathon. It's been tricky just thinking about working around the logistics for an event like this, because this is a really ambitious project that we've embarked on, but we've been able to figure out a few details with the assistance of some of the country partners, and you've had some of them speak with us already today. So I'm just going to share my screen and we will walk you through the presentation for um, the grand finale of the hackathon. All right. I don't know if everyone can see my screen. I'm currently presenting. If you can, just leave a message in the chat area, and I will go on with my presentation. Or Judith, can you let me know if everyone can see my screen?
We can see your screen, yes.
All right, great. Yes, so I'm going to be presenting the info deck, specifically for the one we created for Nigeria and our African online category. Each of our partner countries has has a version of this info deck that suits their country. But the one I'm going to be presenting today is the one prepared for the Nigeria and African online category. So for Nigerian participants, a lot of this information will be very relevant to them. But mostly it is the same format that we're using all across the continent of Africa. So nobody feels left out. For the grand finale, we're going to be going with an hybrid format, which will be a combination of both an online event and an offline event. And I'm going to give more detail about how that works later on in the presentation. So this version of the ARVR Africa Hackathon, this 2020 version, is 2 years after our last one. The first one was in 2018. On your screen now, you see Team AHA, which is a team from Egypt that won the best prize with the best solution across the continent of Africa. Then we just did the hackathon in several countries. This year we tried to push it even further and open it up to the whole of Africa. So we've been growing since our first edition of the hackathon in 2016, and we'll keep growing in the next hackathon as well. So the agenda for the grand finale over the next 2 weeks, starting from today is the kick-off, and also online submissions open up today. So the hackathon is broken into two versions. We have online submissions where people act remotely from the comfort of their homes or wherever they are and submit their solutions via an online portal or an online form. And next week, we'll be having offline events across the continent where people would go to physical locations, meet up with their teams, act and do basically the traditional hackathon. But we know the way 2020 has been, nothing is really traditional anymore. We've had to work around the new normal that we find ourselves in. So having online submissions will open today, and they will be open to the 30th of November, which is Sunday, where we'll close submissions. So everybody who has act online or remotely has to get in their submissions by the 30th of November. And then the Monday after that, which is the 1st of December, we will have pitches. So everybody who submitted their online hackathons across all of the different countries, as well as in Nigeria and the African online category, will get to pitch their solutions to judges. And this will run from the 1st of December to the 3rd of December, where those pitches will end. On the 3rd of December, Egypt, because they have a different weekend setup from the rest of us, will be starting their offline event, and that would last until, I believe, Friday, the 5th of December. And then on Thursday, everyone else who's going to be having an offline event will kick off their offline event up until Saturday the 6th. Now, Saturday the 6th is the last day of the offline event and the last day of the hackathon, is the grand finale. And winners will be announced in all of the countries where the arc has gone down, including our African online category. We'll announce the first, second, and third winners of the hackathon, and so for both the online and the offline events. And that's currently what the agenda looks like. So very, very exciting 2 weeks ahead of us. This page is a more in-depth breakdown of the agendas I've already listed above, starting with today. So we're currently having a kickoff event. I will be having a keynote from Oops somewhere in a couple of minutes. I'm going to join us soon. I'm going to try and round up before it does, and then we're going to have a Q&A session where everybody, all of the participants that we have available, can ask us questions that they have about the grand finale, and I'll be happy to answer as well as the rest of the team. As Judith already mentioned earlier on, this year's hackathon is going to be happening in 5 major verticals. The first being education. A lot of people have shown interest in the education vertical. We also have areas for opportunities for healthcare solutions, especially if people have ideas on how we can use extended reality to solve the COVID-19 pandemic issue we have right now. Tourism is the third vertical, followed by climate and also gaming. We're still providing hackathon support, front-local hackathon support for the next 2 weeks. So if you are in any of the country WhatsApp group chats or on Discord, you can go over there and ask for help, and whoever your country partner or the hackathon team will be there to respond to you. In Nigeria, we have mini labs across the country, and people in the communities in those cities where we have mini labs can access our mini labs to get access to area of their equipment that will assist with their building. So there's a list, and this deck has been shared with the Nigerian group, so you can check your city or what city is close by to you or what city you can have access to. Of course, this is a bit tricky, so not all cities are open, depending on what their COVID-19 policy is. Lagos, for instance, our lab is unfortunately closed because we're still maintaining and upholding COVID-19 policies. Technical support, we'll still be having mentorship sessions as we've had over the last 5 months. Our mentorship sessions will still be going on the Discord server. So please, if you're not on the Discord server, what have you been doing? But also feel free to join, and so you can get access to professionals and industry experts who can assist you with your ARC. As I've said, online submissions open today. And for online submissions, you would need to have the following things. You would need a GitHub repo with your solutions code. So you need to upload your solutions code to a GitHub repo and share that link and share that GitHub repo with us while you're submitting your online ARC. We also need a document explaining what your ARC is and how we can access it on GitHub. Then you need to upload a video to YouTube with your solution demo. So the video needs to show how your solution works and that it works, and also a pitch explaining how your solution, like what your solution is and what problem you're trying to solve. Like I said, this info deck has been shared with the Nigerian group already, and all of the other countries in Africa would also be sharing an info deck similar to this one. And there will be a link there where you can click and submit your solutions online starting today. For Nigeria, we're going to be having our offline grand finale event in Port Harcourt next week at the ARVR Innovation Hub. So from the 4th to the 6th of December, all eyes will be on Port Harcourt, Nigeria, where we'll be having participant ARC for 2 days, starting from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. And then on Saturday, the 6th of December, we'll be announcing the winners from Nigeria at that particular location. Joining criteria, these are the things you need to keep in mind when arcing and creating your solution. So we have 6 criteria. The first of them is execution. which is, are you able to build a working prototype of your solution? The second criteria to keep in mind is the quality of your presentation. You need to make sure your presentation is clear. You need to explain exactly what the project does in the demo presentation. I need to do this concisely, succinctly, and as as best as you possibly can. Feasibility, which is, is your solution actually possible? Your concept, is it something that makes sense? I hope it's not just shooting at the moon and trying to bring Saturn to Earth or something crazy like that. It actually has to be possible. So it has to be feasible. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Need or market fit. This is the problem you are trying to solve. Are you trying to solve a real problem? How necessary is the solution that you are propositioning? You need to keep in mind, you need to keep in mind the African market and the people you're making a solution for. You need to make sure your solution is relevant. The fifth criteria is creativity and innovation. How creative are you? How innovative are you? Are you creating something brand new for this market, or are you just doing something again that already been done? So I advise and recommend that you try and be creative. Because we're really creative on the continent of Africa, so be creative with the solution that you make. Then the final one is technology. It's not an ARVR hackathon if there's no AR or VR. So you need to obviously be utilizing augmented and virtual reality in the solution that you make for the hackathon. So those are the 6 criteria that judges will be looking out for in your acts. So you need to keep all of them in mind. So execution, demo presentation, feasibility, market fit, creativity, and as well as utilizing the AR/VR technology. I'm rounding up now. So the final one is prizes. We have top 3 prizes for each country and the African Online Group. We also have a prize for the best student team. So the student team with the best solution across the continent of Africa. Also the best solution continent-wide. So who has the best solution continent-wide? Last time was Team Aha from Egypt. This year, who is it going to be? It will be you. So that's all for me for now. Big thanks to everybody, all of the partner ops that we worked with, everyone that has made this hackathon a success so far. Big thanks to you. Big thanks to Savia and Magedua on this call, and Demilade as well from Rwanda. Thank you so much for the partnership. And happy hacking, guys. Time to go forth and build the next big extended reality solution. That's all for me.
So now we're moving into a Q&A in general about the hackathon. So if you've got any questions, this is the time to share them. So I can see a question coming up, and someone wants to know if they can submit a modified project we submitted in the earlier hackathon. So do you mean, and this is from Ajibade, just to clarify, do you mean the sponsored challenge for this hackathon? Is that what you're referring to? Okay, so hopefully we'll get a bit of clarity on that in a few minutes. Okay, so Ajibade says yes. Can you submit something that you, no, so if you've submitted it to a challenge, it was specific for that challenge, and it will have to be submitted there, unless it was submitted in error, because we did have a few issues with people submitting hacks that were obviously not for that particular challenge. So if you're one of those people, then please get in touch with us, and you can withdraw it from that and actually submit it to the hackathon proper. We have a question from Dipo. And he's asking, is it possible for we the hackers to review the submissions of other hackers, maybe after everyone has submitted or something? I'm not quite sure what you mean by review the submissions. Do you mean see the demos of the hacks, those sorts of things? That is potentially possible. And I say potentially possible because we're definitely looking at opportunities to showcase some of the hacks later. And then and if that is the case, then that will certainly be available to everyone to have a look at. So that's something that we hope will make possible in that sense, that there'll be a showcase of the hacks that are created. Okay, so Aziz asks, is our solution meant to be software-based, or can we just come up with a kind of kit, for instance, in the education verticals? Aziz, unfortunately, I don't quite understand this question. Are you able to provide any more clarity? Aziz? So we are just trying to see if there's any more clarity around that specific question. So here is another question. Can we merge the online and offline so that they start and end together from the first to the fifth? Or must we keep as planned to allow online participants first, then start offline, third to fifth? So actually, the online participants would actually have submitted by the first. The first to third is actually just the judging for the online, but they would have already submitted their hacks, while the offline participants will then hack actively for the third to the fifth, like in person, and then have their judging done on the last day for that. So it is actually separate, even in terms of kind of like timeline and delivery. Are there any more? Oh, okay. So here's some clarity on that question about software or a kit. And he says, like having a kit that contains maybe VR headsets and AR cards to teach students about some topics in their curriculum. So, well, a kit, I mean, VR headsets, you know, if you're making the headsets, then you can submit them as part of, you know, as a solution. But it must be something that you know, a hackathon is you creating or building something that you're submitting, right? So there must be some content that you, or product or hardware that you are building or creating that you are submitting. Okere Prince asks, are we to design everything during the hackathon, or can we bring old designs for the hackathon? When you say old designs, I'm not sure what you mean. So obviously you're not bringing like pre-created assets to the hackathon, but certainly the expectation is over like the last few months, as you spend time on the server learning and upskilling yourself when it comes to AR and VR, that knowledge would have helped you think critically about what it is you want to create for the hackathon, which is another reason why very early on we let you know what the verticals are that we would like solutions in. Are there any more questions? Okay. Okay, so Aziz is saying, so we can't use existing headsets like the merge headsets and HoloLens, for instance. So Aziz, that's all what I'm saying. You can build your solution for any headset. There's no restriction on what you can build your solution for, if that's what you're asking. But you won't be submitting the headset. It's the solution you submit, if that makes any sense. You're welcome. Aziz, does that answer your question? Okay. Any more questions? If our project, okay, so another question coming in, if our project includes 3 types of genres, or I think the verticals, game, tourism, education, must I submit my project in one of these genres only, not all of them? I believe maybe the submission forms probably ask you which vertical you have created a solution for, but by all means, you are free to indicate, particularly in the accompanying documents, that it actually straddles 3 of the verticals, which is fine. So, certainly you can indicate that. Okay, so someone is asking, and this is Zara, who is seriously new to hackathon development, but I have the passion to learn and explore my skills. What is the objectives of this hackathon development? So Zara, welcome as a newbie to hackathons. And hackathons are events that are put together to encourage people to create really around a specific theme, technology topic. It really depends, and you see them occur in lots of different spaces, to really bring people together to create. For this particular hackathon, we are focused on the extended reality technologies. So that's augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. And we are really keen, us and all of our country partners, to encourage more people to engage with these technologies and create with these technologies. So if you joined us earlier on, you'd have had the opportunity to join the Discord server, which you should still do, where we curated a host of learning resources to do with extended reality. And those are great places to go and get started on your learning journey. Hoop, for example, talked about all of the resources that Unity has available for people who want to get started. And we have several of those on the Discord server for anybody who wants to start your journey. So really that's it. It's to, acquire skills when it comes to AR, VR, or MR, and then use it to create solutions in the 5 verticals that we're focused on for this hackathon: education, gaming, climate or the environment, tourism, or health, and that includes a focus on COVID-19 solutions as well. So somebody is asking, what is the status of past winning teams? Are their products out? So one of the things that we are not, we have not done such a fantastic job of is follow up in terms of kind of like all of the past teams. But we do know about some of them. So certainly from the very first hackathon that we did several years ago, we know that quite a few of those participants have gone on to careers in XR, like the broader field. Some of them have kind of like engaged in setting up companies that are exploring aspects of, AR or VR that are commercially viable in the locations that they are. In terms of any of the hacks actually turning into a product that is on the open market, I don't believe that we've done that, but I think certainly we've seen a lot of the hacks being translated into solutions that might have been deployed for client problems. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. So, okay, so just a couple more questions coming in. So there's a question about the offline participants. Do they only have 1 day for a demo pitch? Yes, so the offline participants, if you've been to a traditional 48-hour hackathon, that's the format that's being followed for the offline event, where you come, you hack, and then at the end of that hacking period, you pitch and you demo to the judges. And that's the format that we're following for that, so the traditional one. So yes, that's right, only 1 day to demo and pitch. And then someone is asking who will own the IP. So the IP will be the property of the hacker, the participant. And who will be the judges? So the judges will vary depending on the location that you're hacking in. In the different countries, the different country organizing teams will organize the judges that will assess the hacks in those locations. And then we will obviously have like a central judging pool that will work with the Africa online group. Yeah, that will judge those. Okay. Any more questions? So we are just going to take 1 or 2 more questions. And also we want to encourage you, if you've got any more questions for Hoop that you would like answered, then please also send those along to us, and we'll definitely get those responses and share those with you as soon as we can. All right. Well, I see it's been a few minutes and there have been no additional questions. So I think I just missed something there. Oh, somebody's asking if the presentation will be shared. Yes, absolutely. The presentation will be available on Discord. It will also be shared in WhatsApp groups as well. Yeah, that will definitely be available to everyone. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you all very much for joining us this morning. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you all. You know, there's not much else to say except, you know, to wish you all the very best as you hack, either over the next kind of like week and a half for the online submissions or at the offline events if you're taking part in those. But we wish you all the very best. We're very, very excited about the work that you will do, and we cannot wait to see your hacks. So that's it from us at this end. Thank you very much. We look forward to continuing to connect with you via Discord, via the WhatsApp groups. Please reach out if you've got any questions, if there's any way we can support you. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out there and let's hack. Thank you very much.